Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, we're going to be reviewing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 34-3 loss versus the Tennessee Titans. If you guys are new here, go ahead and subscribe, hit the like button if you do enjoy these review videos, and leave your thoughts about this game down in the comment section down below. I would love to hear them. Let's start off with what was good in this game today. First things first, I want to talk about some of the guys like Pat O'Connor, right? Pat O'Connor, I thought, had a pretty good game today. 3 total tackles, 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss, and 1 quarterback hit. He looked good in run defense. He looked good in pass rush before everything just went downhill. And overall, I thought Pat O'Connor did a really good job. Kevin Minter did very well both in run defense and in pass coverage, I thought. He finished this game with 3 total tackles. He also finished with 1 tackle for loss in his own right. Blaine Gabbert, I thought, did all right in the limited time that we saw him. He was 3 for 6 for 33 yards, but one guy did have 2 drops on him. We will talk about that in a little bit, but Bradley Pinion's tackling effort, I thought, looked good on a kickoff. It was brought back at the end of the day. So Bradley Pinion, I thought, hey, good for the punter to show his athleticism and overall do a good job in trying to make a tackle. That was good. Antonio Hamilton, I thought, did a pretty decent job today in pass coverage. He had 4 total tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 pass deflection, which was the only pass deflection the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had in their entirety today. I would say that probably Antonio Hamilton is the favorite right now for that 5th cornerback. I know I change my answer all the time, but I think Antonio Hamilton helped himself out a lot in today's game when battling for that 5th cornerback job. Joe Tryon actually got his first official sack in the NFL today. He finished overall with 3 tackles, 1 sack. He had 1 tackle for loss and 1 quarterback hit as well. He was just continuing to get into the backfield and doing some really good things overall in the second quarter, much like what Pat O'Connor was doing. They had a really good combination going there, so I was very happy to see that. Ryan Suckup made his 1 field goal and got the only points for the Buccaneers on the day, which is just a good thing to see that he didn't miss a kick. And then some of the 3rd and 4th string guys, Grant Stuard, I thought, had a good game today. A big improvement from what we saw in preseason week 1. He actually led the team in tackles today, and he finished with 6 total tackles. He tied with D. Delaney and Javon Hagan. 1 sack, 3 tackles for loss, and 1 quarterback hit. Overall, I thought this was a very solid game for Grant Stuard in terms of being a tackler, getting some pass rush, and some run stopping as well. So I was extremely happy to see that. Very happy for Grant there. Khalil Davis, it didn't show up in the stats sheets too much. He did only finish with 1 tackle and 1 tackle for loss, but I feel like he did do a good job in generating some pass rush overall, so I was happy to see that. And then finally, guys, for the last 2 things that were good, Tanner Hudson and Cyril Grayson both had good days catching the ball. Tanner Hudson, 7 targets, 6 catches, and 74 yards. You're happy to see that improvement from him. Cyril Grayson, 8 targets, 4 catches, and 57 yards. A really nice one-handed wrestling grab catch away from a Tennessee Titans defender, which was good. Now let's talk about some of the bad. Oh, there was a lot of it. It started with Jaylon Darden fumbling on a punt return. Now, that was, he did recover his own fumble, but there were so many problems. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers had 6, count them, 6 fumbles in this game. Now, they recovered 5 of them. They only lost 1, which we will talk about in a little bit. But 6 fumbles, oh my gosh. So not just Jaylon Darden's fumble, but everybody's fumbles. This team had a fumbling problem today. Part of it was messed up snaps. Part of it was just actual fumbling of the football. It was a mess. O.J. Howard had 2 drops from Blaine Gabbert passes today, which were good passes, by the way, from Blaine Gabbert. That's why I say that Blaine Gabbert had a good game, even though it didn't necessarily show up in the stat sheet. Howard did do better later on. He did redeem himself. That's why I'm saying that O.J. Howard didn't have an entirely bad game, but the drops do need to be improved on. The entirety of the Buccaneers' backup offensive line struggled mightily when Ryan Griffin was in at quarterback. They did horrible. When Kyle Trask was in the game, they, I think, did worse. Nick Leverett as the center, he was in a tough situation. You have Robert Hainsey, who's hurt. He can't play. You had John Molchon, who was out for this game as well. The guy who was already basically their third string kind of emergency type center. You threw Nick Leverett in there. It didn't go great. He did botch a couple of snaps to Ryan Griffin and Kyle Trask, so that was a tough thing to see. He was put in an incredibly tough situation, but the run blocking and the pass blocking of these, some of these backup offensive linemen was atrocious. There was no improvement from preseason week 1 to week 2. I don't think it got worse, but it was about the same, which is not saying good things. Missed tackling was an issue for certain guys. I can't name all the guys who missed tackles, but some of these backups did certainly miss some tackles. I know Ross Cockrell specifically missed 2 tackles early on. He would clean that up later on in the game, but overall missed tackling was a bit of a concern from some of the backup linebackers, especially some of the backup secondary guys. That's got to be cleaned up. A big thing that a lot of people were unhappy about was the Tanner Hudson fumble call. Tanner Hudson had caught the pass, took it about 25 yards, was tackled, elbow hit the ground, ball popped up after the elbow hit the ground. Tennessee Titans recovered, scored a touchdown. Referees said that stands, and Bruce Arians and a lot of people in the chat lost their minds on that call, which I don't blame them. It wasn't a fumble, but at the end of the day, it's preseason. It is what it is, man. At this point, I'm just fine with it. I don't care right now. Tanner Hudson had a good game besides that fumble call as a receiver, and that's not even his fault, so it is what it is. Chris Wilcox struggled. He gave up a big touchdown later on in the game when the Tennessee Titans were just pouring on the points. I believe it was to Mason Kinsey. Chris Wilcox is in a tough situation right now. I don't know what's going to happen with him. The Buccaneers have to cut down to 80 people by August 24th. You would assume Chris Wilcox might be on that list. I don't know. We will see. He was in such a tough situation coming in late to training camp, and it's just been going downhill since he's come in. So hopefully he improves. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe he'll have a spot on the practice squad there. The entire offensive effort overall was just atrocious, in my opinion. As I said, 3 points from this team is not going to do it. And if you look, oh my gosh, I can't even form words. Bradley Pinion had to punt 7 times today, and there was a turnover on downs. Atrocious. It was just a horrible offensive showing, man. Oh my gosh. I mean, Kyle Trask had 131 yards passing, which is all right, I guess, but on 13 for 26, a 50% completion percentage isn't terrible, but he did have 2 interceptions. That was my next point. One went off the helmet of a Titans defender. That was one thing. One went off the hand. A diving catch by Cody McElroy that bounced off of his hands and then was a phenomenal play by a Titans defender. Like, you don't make that play every day. And it just so happened that the Titans were just on fire today with their overall play. It was absolutely insane to see. I mean, oh my goodness. And then just finally, guys, my last note I made was the 3rd and 4th stringers. Just when it started to fall apart, it started to fall apart. Just the offense could do nothing the entirety of this game. The defense just struggled after the offense. And fair credit, I'm not even knocking the defense too much, because the second game in a row where these 3rd and 4th string offensive guys just get nothing going. And I get it. It's the preseason. I'm not worried too much about it. It is what it is. A lot of these guys are just auditioning for practice squad spots, auditioning for other 53-man rosters. I totally understand that. But, and I also get that preseason football is ugly football. But man, I wanted to see something to give me hope. Something, man. Something to give me just joy about some of our depth guys, and I got none of that. I don't know what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to do in regards to certain depth issues, like say along the offensive line. What do? Do you just wait for other cuts to be made and sign some guys from there? I think that's a strong possibility because there was just not a lot of positives to take away from some of these third and fourth stringers. Not even so much on the defense. I talked about some of the third and fourth stringers on the defense that I thought were impressive. But some of these backups, just, on offense, the offense could do nothing. And it was extremely disheartening, I think, in a way. And it is what it is. We'll see if they can improve in the third preseason game. And we'll see what the 53-man roster is at the end of the day. I'm going to be very interested to see what the Buccaneers do here with some of these final cuts coming up soon. Man, oh man. Ugly football, but it's preseason football. The starters weren't even in there at all for this game. So I'm not worried about it, but just a sour taste in the mouth, man. But what do you guys think? Leave me your thoughts about this game down in the comment section down below. Joe Tryon was the game MVP in my opinion. I thought he had a very good game getting into the backfield. He got his first he got his first official sack, even if it is preseason. And he looked good both in the run game and in pass rush as well. So that's why I give it to him. But, yeah, what do you guys think? Leave me your thoughts down in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed. And I will see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now. And go Bucs!